Welcome to NocBro Nation.
Welcome back, guys. Jarrell here.
And I'm Josh, and today we're here to give our overall review of Season 7 of Fear the Walking Dead.
Yeah, guys, so apologize for the late videos this week. I'm getting prepared to go on a trip, going out of the country, my first cruise with the family. So, we've been busy in our everyday lives and stuff like that.
You've had it planned for a while, right? And then COVID.
Had it planned for 2 years.
Yeah.
COVID screwed everything up.
So it's about time. What, I swore we've talked about this before. Caribbean?
Caribbean, yeah.
Caribbean.
Caribbean.
Did I say Caribbean?
Yeah. Yep, Caribbean cruise. So it's definitely excited for that. I'll be out next week, but we're getting our recordings done, so you guys will have some videos, while I'm out. So
yeah,
you
and
guys
every single one of you is like, what? Jarrell's leaving and not Josh?
I know, right? Josh isn't going on vacation right now.
Or working, or,
Yeah. So, guys, Season 7 of Fear, man. What a season. Ups and downs. In the latter part, it was a lot of downs, but let's start with the first half. Let's start with 7A, episodes 1 through 6, or episodes 1 through 8, excuse me. Basically building the story of, the eventual fight with Strand. We get a lot of character development in some episodes. We get to meet 2 new characters. We get to meet Mickey. We get to see Josiah, who's a twin brother of the bounty hunter. I liked 7A a lot because it was building that story, and we were getting a lot of character building, and those are the type of episodes I liked, and that's kind of what they did in season 6, basically.
Yeah, I right off the bat, A lot better than B, for sure. I did love season 7A, the first half. I think. I don't know, right? Like, I think that, like, the second half for me, we're talking about the first half, but like the first half, I didn't really like all the Fallout stuff, right?
I think the writers, when you start dealing with a nuclear fallout, not to say that you have to be 100% correct, because, we're not going to know what's 100% correct. We're going to go off of other TV shows, movies that we're aware of, but you can kind of use common sense in a way to know that if you're in a fallout area and the sky is constantly yellow and orange, it's not a good spot.
Yeah. Now, I think there was that episode with Morgan where they were trying to get out.
Mm-hmm,
so it's not like, I think we've said before, like, they should have gotten out right away. And it's not like they should have. They couldn't, at least in the beginning. At least that's what it looked like.
It expanded for miles. I mean, there was, 10 to 15 missiles or bombs that dropped. And you got to think of, the coverage area. And then as, time goes by, the wind patterns, maybe more radiation. The radiation is going to be higher towards the blast zone. It's going to filter out depending on how far. So they're not going to spend multiple episodes of Morgan traveling 100 miles in every direction to see where the sky becomes perfectly clear. But apparently at Strand's tower, it's perfect. It's the #1 zone to go to.
Yeah.
Everywhere else, no.
My only gripe with, like, the first half is I think that they should have done the tower completely different. I think they should have put the tower. I think they should have had it so that Strand actually made it past the blast radius. Now, you wouldn't know that until the beginning of season 7, but I think they should have situated, like, I'm okay with the hotel, right? As long as it's, like, not in the middle of a freaking blast zone, or in this magical spot where the wind isn't blowing radiation.
Yeah, we don't know how far away because when we saw Strand and Howard in the tower and we saw the blast, they're looking at it. We don't know how far that was. We could probably say 20 miles.
If you're looking at a nuclear bomb,
30 miles,
go off.
Yeah. I mean, still. But honestly, it's not going to push the radiation towards it. It's going to go everywhere else except for this little pocket. I didn't buy that at all.
Yeah.
I didn't buy it. And
I just think that maybe they should have focused the first half on everyone's situation getting out of there.
They kind of tried to do that. So
I guess.
they kind of tried to show because everyone was scattered. And they tried to show, I especially love the Dwight and Sherry stuff when they ran into Mickey of what they were dealing with after the blast and kind of what especially John and June were dealing with. I love that episode. So in a sense, they were trying to do that with these episodic episodes, kind of carrying over from season 6. But but when they're out in the fallout and they all have these Geiger counters where they're just everywhere, gas masks everywhere,
magically everyone's everywhere, got one.
Yeah. But I think where they fell apart was dealing with the walkers, dealing with the radiated walkers coming close to you, coming near you. Yes, you can kind of touch one, you can't touch one. Even though it looks like it's from the blast zone, it's really radiated, but these ones aren't. We only learned about the ones that were really bad in the second half, and they kind of fell apart.
But tell me this: how can Morgan be like you and I close to someone that's got their nose completely off because of radiation and not get affected?
I remember...
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know who I'm talking about? The couple that Morgan ran into?
Oh, yeah. They were severely bad. Now, I think those were more... It was kind of like the situation with Charlie. Like, they had the radiation burns, but I also remember I mentioned this in the comments, and somebody mentioned that depending on certain situations, it's not going to transfer to you by being next to somebody. Maybe it really depends on the situation. So
I suppose,
if somebody is covered, yes, if they have to be quarantined because they are full of radiation.
Because they picked up a piece of graphite.
Right, yeah, we're kind of going back to Chernobyl. So, I mean, if you have to be quarantined, you can't be near them, that we understand. But a lot of this, they were a lot of people that we could be close to and around that had radiation burns. We kind of saw it with Charlie.
Yeah.
But that was more in the second half. But...
Well, I talked to you.
I just think they were inconsistent, and we really didn't get a grasp of what's dangerous, what can we be around, what can't we be around, what we can touch, what we can't touch. They really bypassed that.
You and I have talked about this. I said to you, I almost wish they wouldn't have done the explosions.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah. Or had them farther out.
Just because it's something that you're going to have to deal with in production. And you're trying to tell a story here, but you're trying to get as accurate as possible based upon what you've done to the show.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe this. Why 10 or 15? Just drop one, Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot that dropped. Overall, 7A, it had its faults. It had its misinformation. It had us wondering, how serious is this fallout? What can they touch? What they can't? But overall, for the storytelling and the building up to Strand, it was better. Now, we really didn't like the aspect that, okay, we're going to have a war for this tower.
But just to take a step back to 7A.
Yeah.
At the end of 6, leading into 7, did you buy the Morgan versus Strand storyline that they had kind of built up, right?
I bought it to a sense.
It didn't make sense what Strand was doing from the point of pushing Morgan. First of all, that made no sense whatsoever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Why he pushed Morgan and tried to kill him in the sub.
Yeah.
I was fine with Morgan being who he was once he got to the tower, but just the whole dynamic of him versus Morgan, I just don't know if it was done that well.
I didn't like Morgan attempting to kill Strand in a shameless way.
Yeah, that was not
trying to poison him.
Yeah,
really. That was just that was so shady and really not of what we know of Morgan.
Yeah,
it just didn't work right, and. As we started building this Morgan versus Strand, it was like, why? What is so important of this freaking tower?
And that led into 7B, where we multiple times were asking that. Yeah. And, when we're talking about building a great place, we've been in a tower before. Mm-hmm. We've been in a massive hotel.
Yeah.
And how did that work?
Didn't work out
well. It didn't work out.
Yeah. With 7A, we got, you got introduced to a possible what Padre is. It was very mysterious. It was, we knew it was a military kind of classified thing that we just didn't know much about. At the end of 7A, didn't like with Alicia, following this dead person, thinking that she's going to go to Padre. And then we kind of, with Alicia, with Alicia Dedham Carey, we know what happens to her, but with not seeing her in a lot of 7A, we were like, what the heck's going on with Alicia? And then we roll into 7B, which was an absolute train wreck. The story went completely haywire.
It made no sense.
The fallout stuff was even worse.
We talked about this. We had the first 3 episodes that you could honestly take those episodes away and it would have meant nothing to the show.
Yeah.
And then, bringing a character to kill a character. Right. I'm so tired of seeing that.
Yeah. And then turning it into Alicia versus Strand. And we kind of knew all along that we really didn't have high hopes that Alicia was literally going to kill Strand.
No.
From everything that they've gone through, it's really not in her character to kill someone that would be that close to her. And
it's really not in her character to kill someone at all.
And what was interesting, though, is that, yes, I liked the character of Will, but she didn't have any attachment to Will to be that upset that Strand killed him. Yeah, you knew him. He told you about Padre and he helped you, but you chastised him and you kicked him out because he did something that you asked him not to. And then he tries to help again and he's ended up dead. And now you're going to wage war because he killed him. I hated that.
Yeah. I would think that Dwight and Sherry have more reason to go to war than Alicia.
Oh, yeah. But the family that Strand
How long
killed?
were they with that family? And he literally killed a child.
Yeah, he literally killed a child. He wasn't by Strand's hand,
but his direct hand. But come on,
he hired a hitman, basically. Yeah, 7B guys. You guys have known our feelings and you've seen it in our reactions. Man, it was tough to do those reactions. I mean, you guys enjoyed watching them. You smashed the hell out of them, but it was really hard for us to really get pumped for it because after every episode, we're just sitting there deflated like, what the hell did we just watch?
Yeah.
So many inconsistencies, so many confusing moments in the story with these characters, and we're just like, what is going on?
And what was crazy is Alicia's back and she's gone. Alicia's back, and it's just like, and then Luciana doing what she did to Daniel.
That was brutal. And then building up to when we're going to see Madison back. The showrunners lied to us, dude. The showrunners said that, Madison isn't just going to be back, for flashbacks and stuff. But yeah, she had a lot to do in that episode.
And she's probably got a lot for season 8. But they said specifically season 7.
They said specifically season 7, Madison was going to have a bigger impact. One episode? We thought it was going to be episode 15, the 100th episode. Nope, that was for Alicia Dedham Carey because she's leaving and they're not going to do the reunion. And Kim Dickens actually did say that she was very, very disappointed that she couldn't get a reunion.
Everyone was. Everyone was. To me, when all is said and done, what that feels like is it's a way to hook fans in because fans that want to see that are eventually gonna stick around in hopes that they'll get that scene.
Yeah.
It's almost like what the main show's doing with Rick, except not as popular, right? Because this one doesn't hold what that show does and what the character Rick holds.
Right.
But yeah,
it was a train wreck. I mean, honestly,
honestly, did you like one bit of the Madison storyline? I didn't. I really didn't. Because that's not her.
It's not, but from the early stuff that we got from the showrunners, they did say, yes, it is going to be a different Madison. And I can kind of understand that, she's going to take a different approach to surviving. But we were thinking, okay, well, maybe she's trying to find Alicia and Nick. Maybe she's trying to find them. And, I did love the stuff more, when Morgan was telling her that he knew who she was, about her kids and everything. But this whole narrative of this whole Padre situation where it kind of poisoned her mind and she became the collector. And apparently, I don't know, from that notebook, it said 758. It seems like she's taken over 700 kids. We don't know. We'll find out. But it seemed like, in the end, Madison was like, well, Padre lied to me. I was like, what do you mean they lied to you? How do you... And that's,
you knew exactly what you were doing.
And that's the thing. She has not seen Padre. She hasn't even been in there. So you're taking the word of these people who were going to help you find Alicia and Nick So they're going off of your vulnerability right now. So go collect all these kids for us. And after you do so many, we'll help you. But you're not going to be able to come inside Padre to see what we're actually doing. I did not like that.
I didn't like that. But here's another thing. I didn't like their threat or her perceived threat that they would make Alicia and Nick do the same thing.
If she walked away.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Mind
For as strong as those characters are.
Exactly. Mind you, they're not just going to find those characters and be like, hey, your mother did this, now you're doing it.
Yeah.
That sounds so stupid.
Right. Because what do you have to hold them? Like, we don't see any soldiers. We don't see anybody like holding a gun to Madison's head. Why can't you just walk away?
Yeah, exactly. and then you're like, well, okay, they'll find her. How?
Right.
You're not a community, at least
Madison
from what I've seen,
yeah.
This is not a CRM community that's going to hunt you down. Right. And look, CRM can barely hunt someone down.
Yeah. I mean, Madison, here's the thing. If you're thinking about, oh, well, Madison knows our location. No, she doesn't. She doesn't know your location. So let her leave.
But even if they did, but even if she left on her own, which she's out there collecting children.
Yeah.
She has every opportunity just to walk away.
To bounce out. But
they're not going to find her.
I just didn't like hearing her say, no, well, we're taking this child away from parents because parents just can't raise these kids. Like, I was like, wow, they have you completely brainwashed. It's ridiculous.
For what? How are they brainwashing her? Providing the oxygen to let her survive? You could have went with that. As a primary motive.
Well, that's the thing. We don't actually. It seems like she had the oxygen already, but we don't know that because she walked into the room and they were like,
"But she's not dying."
They were
from
like,
it.
"They were like, you made it," and so we don't know if maybe they found her first, gave her the oxygen, and said, "Go here for that." Well, I mean, she could die if she can't breathe.
Yeah, but eventually she's going to be fine.
I don't know how. Anyone who's like a firefighter or EMT, let us know about smoke inhalation in your lungs. Like, is this something temporary because of all the smoke that she had to deal with that eventually over time her lungs will fix themselves and get better? Or is this permanent where she's going to need oxygen the rest of her life? I don't know. Let us know.
That'd be kind of dumb,
Anybody who's an EMT or,
I should, because end of character.
I don't know.
Right? There's only so much
air that you can find.
Right?
Yeah. I know what you're saying.
But again, this show mysteriously finds batteries for walkie-talkies. So
batteries for walkie-talkies,
Geiger
batteries for for flashlights. There's Geiger everywhere. Geiger counters, I should say, everywhere. It's those things that just can't be explained. We have to throw those over our head and be like, it's just part of the show.
It's a show.
It's a show.
But I didn't like anything they did with Madison. I didn't think that was.
It wasn't a great return for her. It sets up season 8 100%.
What do you think they did right?
That's a tough question.
Dwight and Sherry.
Dwight and Sherry, with some of the character development was really good.
Yeah.
In the end, I really enjoyed Howard's character. He was a crazy fucker.
Yeah, I did.
I did enjoy Howard's character. And we kind of went back and forth, like, is he going to betray Strand?
I really wish they would have went, like, Howard full-on psycho.
Yeah.
Because he was the type of character that had that look that he could just go psychotic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
They should have went that route. But,
yeah.
The Sherry and Dwight stuff, it annoyed me what Sherry was doing because she's done it several times now. So that part annoyed me. But what they did with her being pregnant, that was awesome. And how they tied that into now
the whole kid situation.
Yeah. That was probably the best part, I guess.
I will have to say, we are big fans of Strand's character. I think in a way, I loved what they did with his character.
Yeah, actually, that's another thing I forgot to mention. I loved the Alicia and Strand last moment.
Yeah, for sure.
That one was amazing.
But just the journey, just what the take that they did, from seeing Strand saying, when they got caught with Virginia, oh, we're going to, bleed him from the inside. And then you see that he wants to take over more. And then from this season, wow. I mean, complete change to villain. And then we see him come back from it immediately with Alicia because you can see how much Alicia means to him, and even Madison, because he feels that connection that he lost Madison, a great friend. The only family he has left, technically, is Alicia. Yeah. I mean, yes, Luciana and Daniel, but not really Daniel, but the Clarks.
I guess that's right. You know, flip that around and say that Alicia never came into this last part, and Strand would still be where he's at today, being a ruthless villain type leader.
Yeah,
I'm convinced that, and I agree. I love how they did that. That Alicia's the only character other than Madison that could have brought him back.
Yeah, and we'll see how his character progression will be in the next season with what he's done and who he's with. You know, he's with our group now, so
it's going to be terrible because you have Dwight and Sherry there that are going to want to kill him at every turn,
and Morgan.
You know, I think Morgan is probably going to be at peace with him being there.
Yeah, I guess.
Dwight and Sherry, no. Daniel, no.
Man, this season was interesting, guys. It really was. It was, I think in the end it had, I guess my overall rating of it would be,
how you doing your rating?
I don't know.
Like a scale?
I was thinking about a 1 to 10 scale, or if it was maybe average, below. I'm just gonna say it was below average, so I would probably give it like a 4.
I was literally gonna say that.
Yeah.
I would say below average. I'd say a 4.
Yeah. First half above average. First half was like a 6, maybe 7.
Yeah.
Second half, 2 to 3. I gotta I'm not really averaging very well, but I think overall it'd be like a below average 4.
I agree. I think that's right where it needs to be. They got some work cut out for them if they want to, bring this show back. And I think we have another video coming on that.
Talking about season 8 and the showrunners talking about some interesting things and some things that are very upsetting. So
great.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah, guys. So let us know what your thoughts were on season 7 as a whole. Let us know what you thought of 7A, 7B. Our reactions to those episodes, which you guys totally enjoyed, and we appreciate that. And stay tuned for more videos of the predictions and theories and release information for Season 8 and the eventual reactions for Season 8, where Kim Dickens will be back as a regular for Fear the Walking Dead.
With no Alicia.
So it's going to be so weird to watch. And because you're going to think Madison's going to be like, all right, take me to the place where she's at. Well, they're not going to. Because they're going to be in another state.
You know what, though? As a fan, that would be satisfying.
Yeah.
Because at least she's going to go and see that Alicia's not there and give her hope that she's going to find her daughter.
Right.
But they will not even give us that scene.
They won't do that.
Nope.
No, definitely not.
You basically regurgitated Rick. Left her at the side of a bank, and then she gets up, goes away. For however long. Only difference was, guys, there wasn't a helicopter.
Yeah, exactly.
That's honestly.
Yeah, for sure. So, guys, let us know what you think in the comments, and stay tuned for more Fear the Walking Dead with us. I'm Jarrell.
I'm Josh.
We're NocBro Nation. We're out.